Greetings, my sweet friends, and thank you so much for joining me today as we take a look at the astrological energies showing up around the upcoming new moon happening in the sign of Cancer on July 5th, 2024, occurring at 3:57 p.m. Pacific time here in the USA. So, of course, make your adjustment time-wise for your location on the planet. If you're new here, my name is Carrie, Konyha, and I am a lifelong professional psychic reader and shamanic energy healing practitioner. I'm also the owner of Soul Star Healing Arts Center in Sedona, Arizona. Here on this channel, we explore all things connected to spiritual awakening, growth, healing, and empowerment. So if you're into that type of content, take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell so that you're sure to be notified of my upcoming uploads. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into the energies of the new moon here. I want to remind us all that each new moon essentially is a cycle of power that brings with it its own shamanic medicines and rites of passage. That's a part of what we're going to be exploring today, in addition to the astrological energies. Astrologically speaking, the sign of Cancer is a cardinal sign. The cardinal signs are the signs that occur at the beginning of each season, and therefore they are linked to energies that are driven in the direction of forward movement, expansion, determination, growth-oriented, initiating, driven energies. However, Cancer itself is linked to the moon. It's ruled by the moon. And so that brings in components of our deep unconscious mind, our emotional bodies, our emotional processes, of course, our intuition, and things that are connected to the archetype of mother, nurturing, and sensual pleasures. So when we blend the astrological energies of Cancer as it relates to the moon with the energies as it relates to the cardinal energy, the overarching theme around this new moon essentially is one of nurturing our deep dreams into being, whatever those are. And the best way to really get a dialed in, specific intention setting focus for yourself with this new moon would be to look at your own natal chart and look to see where the Cancer sector of your chart is, because this is going to be exactly where you will be experiencing a reset and new beginnings. So when we can work with the energy consciously, it enables us to harness the power of the medicines and rites of passage that come with each lunar cycle. These energies show up whether we're conscious of it or not. We're influenced by it whether we're conscious of it or not, but being conscious of it does help us work through the energies most intentfully. Due to the cardinal energies associated with Cancer, again, it brings in themes connected to determination, emotional intelligence, willpower, and a desire to succeed. The tarot card that is related to the sun in Cancer is the Chariot card. So this is a really good month to meditate upon the Chariot card in regard to what your personal aims and ambitions are at this particular time in your life. Now, being that this is the first new moon of summer, and summer being the time where we are symbolically or even literally nurturing the intentions that we set at the beginning of the year, summer is the time where those intentions begin to bloom, blossom, show up, manifest. And so the energies around this new moon our prime time to really take some time to review, reevaluate, and reconsider what those intentions had been that you set at the beginning of the year, so that we can really just have some intentional focus around holding space for cultivating those things. I talked a lot about this in the last full moon video that I did, just saying that the new moon was coming up and that it's going to be time to do this. And so here we are. So for those of you who love to work in the realms of your personal growth in ways that are connected to the natural rhythms and cycles of life like me, then this is the information that you need to know. This new moon is the very best time for the rest of this year to get really clear and established and maybe renewing your personal intentions and willpower in the direction of the personal growth goals that are most important for you at this time. Astrologically speaking, we do have primarily the water element that is prevalent around this new moon. So we can expect to feel more dialed in to our intuition. Intuitively speaking, we could be feeling more empathic than usual. And this can also serve as a time where we have more of an awareness as to what's going on with us on those deeper emotional levels. Cancer is very connected to themes around your private life, your home, it's your roots, it's your ancestry. So this can bring in opportunity for doing ancestral healing work. It is a time where we all feel naturally inspired to cozy up our home environments, to experience pleasure, spending time in our home environments, whether that is me time nurturing yourself or time that you're spending with friends and family, entertaining within your home. Cancer is very connected to the realm of sensual pleasures, meaning enjoying pleasures of the senses. So what you're seeing, touching, smelling, hearing, tasting, feeling, sensuality in that way. Awakening your own inner pleasure body, giving yourself the gift of that, doing some personal growth work around where you're at with that in your life right now. Do you allow yourself to delight in being grounded in sensual pleasure? Or is this something that you resist for some reason? Just examining this. It's all a part of our overall holistic well-being. Taurus is another sign that is very connected to sensual pleasures. It's significant here because Mars and Uranus in Taurus is making a beneficial sextile aspect to the Sun, the Moon, and Venus. Actually, right now, and Venus in and of itself is linked to sensual pleasures. So sensuality, not necessarily meaning sexuality, but just allowing yourself to be grounded in your pleasure body. This can even be really fully being present and experiencing pleasure with a walk you take out in nature, feeling the earth under your feet, smelling the smells of the plants, listening to the birds and the animals, and just immersing yourself in oneness with the natural realm on that experiential pleasure of the senses level is actually a really empowering mindfulness practice that we all can do right now to optimize our embodiment. Being really fully embodied pleasurably within our being physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, will serve the effect of creative inspiration as well. With that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chart and just show you all a picture of what's going on in the sky now around this new moon, for those of you who love to see that. So I've been doing this for probably about the past 3 lunar cycles, sharing the screen. I would love your feedback on this. How many of you are loving seeing the screen? How many of you can take it or leave it? Don't care either way. Just give me a little heads up. Okay, hopefully we can all see what's going on here as I am sharing the screen. We're going to start by taking a look at the bottom part of the chart here. We can see that we have the moon, the sun, and in a conjunction, and then Venus is co-present in this lineup here, which again further emphasizes what I was talking about with the embodiment of sensual pleasures. And Mercury's not that far away. It's over in Leo, but we're going to talk about that in a moment, because the first aspect we're going to explore in the realm of what are the medicines, what are the rites of passage. With this new moon coming up, we're going to for sure be looking at Pluto here, because Pluto is making an opposition to the sun, the moon, Venus, and also Mercury is in the mix here loosely, but it's there. So the sun and the moon conjunct, new beginning. The moon, once again, in Cancer is nurturing, mother archetype. It's receptivity. So it's also very connected to receiving love. Cancers are typically very, very cognizant, and it really activates their sense of soul purpose to be very nurturing in a giving way. But Cancers aren't always necessarily super comfortable with receiving. So practicing receiving is another theme that is coming with the moon in Cancer. And then again, the sun in Cancer is igniting our determination, our willpower, our emotional intelligence, and our drive and desire to succeed. What are we succeeding in? Nurturing our dreams into being, which is connected to Saturn and Neptune over here on the left in Pisces, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But first, Pluto. Let's get back to Pluto here. Pluto is retrograde. It is going to go back into Capricorn pretty soon for a few months. Pluto archetype, the bottom line of Pluto is always about evolution. But it's evolution through digging up and examining anything that might be unconsciously holding us back, our shadow side. It ultimately is connected to alchemizing those things, alchemizing our shadow side, bringing the shadow to light. Therefore, it's very connected to evolution, transformation, which collectively leads to empowerment. So the medicine and the rite of passage connected to this new moon essentially is one of empowerment through alchemizing any unconscious shadow work stuff that's been somehow holding us back, examining those things. This is a really good time to do inner child work. Inner child work is a great approach to shadow work. This is a session that I do offer at my healing center in Sedona, but it's one that we can also do through video chat. I love guiding people through inner child work because, in my perspective, inner child work isn't just about connecting with your wounded inner child, but the whole idea essentially of inner child work is to reclaim your soul gifts, your pure energy, talent, skills, and abilities that you were born into the world with, to share with the world before it all got convoluted with woundedness and trauma. So anyway, This month is a really good month to do shadow work because of the energies showing up with Pluto acting as an initiation that supports us in coming more into our empowerment. This is the month where, emotionally speaking, on some level, we're all going to be experiencing our own unique thing or experience of what we're ready to release that's been bogging us down emotionally, so that we can come into that cardinal energy, which is the renewed motivation and determination. The opposition that Pluto is making with Mercury in Leo brings in an element of communication, an element of sharing ideas. Journaling is really the first thing that comes to mind when I'm looking at this as something that would be a great practice to support everything that I just talked about. Okay. And then we can see that when we look at the blue lines in the center of the chart, we primarily have beneficial power-up activations connected to this new moon. The trines and the sextiles are harmonious alignments that I like to interpret as being energizers, activators, power-ups, while the challenging aspects, which are the squares, the oppositions primarily, are the medicines, the rites of passage, the initiations. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on over to the left of the chart as we are looking at Neptune and Saturn. So Neptune and Saturn have both been in Pisces for quite some time. They both are retrograde now. They're just going retrograde. When you look at the chart here, you can see there's a teeny little R right before the numbers that are saying the degrees, and that is the retrograde. So Neptune is retrograde in the very last degree of Pisces. The last degree of Pisces is considered a critical degree. It's a time where the energy is culminating. It's like a final shebang of the energy associated with that planet in that sign. So retrograde, this is especially because Neptune is a celestial planet. It's connected to the celestial realms. It's connected to our spiritual connections, our higher self, inspirations creatively that come from the celestial realms. It also is connected to our intuition and our spirituality as well. But aligned with Saturn, which is our 3D reality, right? So how are we anchoring our celestial dreams, visions into our 3D reality? And this energy we can see is making trine aspects to the sun, the moon, and Venus. Again, trines are harmonious connections. And because they're harmonious, we might not necessarily really feel them. It just feels like an ease showing up in our life. So the retrograde Saturn with Neptune is inviting us to just do a little reconsideration around how we want to channel our energy in the direction of what our dreams are and the reality of what can be grounded in the physical 3D realm now and not. And I say the reality of it because Neptune is connected to our dreams. It can be our nighttime dreams, but literally our daydreams around what we really deeply desire, but it's also connected to illusion and delusion. And so the combination here of Saturn and Neptune is supporting us in sort of weeding through all of that. What is a viable goal or dream that I do have the insight, the sense of alignment with, the determination to really be able to channel into anchoring, manifesting in the 3D realm, and what feels illusionary, what feels not really quite tangible right now, what feels like it's a delusion that I'm ready to let go so that I can move forward into what is real, what is tangible, what is presenting itself. So this is also the seizing the moment of opportunity based on what feels real and tangible in ways that are connected to your dreams. Okay. Then when we take a look down here, where we have Mars, which is the planet of action, and Uranus, which is the change maker, unexpected developments, revolutionary energy. Now, Mars is connected to like a warrior level of drive and energy. In Taurus, it's a little more grounded. The drive is more geared towards what is connected to your fundamental sense of stability and security, because Taurus is a lot about that. It's what we value, what we possess. On more surface levels, is also connected to how we make money. So there, if I'm reading this in a predictive way, I could say that there could be unexpected developments show up for all of us collectively. And again, it's going to be based on where Taurus is in your chart with this, but unexpected developments that we can harness the power of and take advantage of in the realms of how we make money, in the realms of what we value and what we possess. Again, the connection here is positive, harmonious. It's almost the linking point between what's going on with Saturn and Neptune and what's going on with the Sun, Moon, and Venus, which Venus, by the way, is the ruling planet of Taurus. So even though this moon is ruled by the moon, the moon in Cancer, the ruling planet of Cancer is the moon, there is also a strong Venusian energy coming in, which is further supporting the aspect of this moon energy, which is about harmony, beauty, pleasure, all of the things I talked about earlier. Look at that solar energy as being the energy ray. If energies are rays of light, the energy ray that we have available to us to support our actual drive and motivation and how we're taking action is connected to the sun in Cancer. The moon is our internal feeling component to all of that. So overall, nurturing our goals and dreams that are on those deeper soul level of what we're really feeling driven towards, and having the ability with this lunar cycle to sort out the difference between what's real, what's actually doable, tangible, and where maybe have there been illusionary, delusionary hopes, dreams, wishes that just are not aligned with the deeper soul calling right now. And just being willing to let that go, to make space for what is wanting to show up. And so those are the main things that I wanted to show you regarding the sky here. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. So I'm going to be sharing additional insights and messages for all zodiac signs. Okay, I am going to chapter this out so you can skip around to your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. I'm going to begin with Aries rising, as usual. Okay, so if you are Aries rising, then you've got the North Node in your first house, and you have Chiron in your first house, combined with all of this, which is supporting even more motivation to be in your healed self and be able to move forward in life, drive yourself forward in enthusiasm from that space of clarity of awareness and determination connected to your goals, but being in that healed way. That's on the astrological side. So the moon is going to be happening in your fourth house if you're Aries rising. And the fourth house is connected to home, family. It's your roots, it's your early childhood, but it's also like your current home, how you feel in your current home, wanting to enjoy being in your current home, wanting to create your home to be that sacred nest, sacred space, sacred temple that is your space of rejuvenation. So there could be things, physical changes that you're feeling inspired to do within your actual physical home. There could be energy changes that you're feeling inspired to create in your physical home, clearing your home energetically, smudging, things like that. There's all kinds of ways that this can be showing up for you. But if you're Aries rising, the theme is around your private life, your inner private self, your emotions, and then literally our homes are extensions of our personal energy. So you can look around at your home to get a sense of what's going on deep unconscious levels with your deep personal energy. Optimizing the radiance of your home will optimize the radiance of your energy and vice versa. Okay, but let me pick a card here. I'm working with my Light Seers Tarot today. I got this deck, I don't know, probably about 6 or 8 months ago by now, and it's quickly becoming my go-to deck. I really love it. I'm just giving these cards a few shuffles here. Okay, and I am selecting the card now. So let's see what else wants to come up for you, Aries rising. It's the Hermit card coming up reversed. I'm going to show you what it looks like right side up. The Hermit card is the card of really connecting with your own inner wisdom. When it shows up reversed, you can ask yourself this: have I been avoiding connecting with my deep silent knowing? Or am I feeling compelled to share knowledge and wisdom from within me? It's going to be one of those two for you, or there could be elements of both. But either way, there's a message for you to really deliberately, conscientiously take some space to connect with your deep soul wisdom. You can see there's like illumination here in the areas that are connected to the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the throat, connecting with your inner wisdom, listening to your own inner truth, perhaps sharing wisdom with others. If you're Taurus rising, then the new moon is happening in your third house. The third house is connected to themes that have to do with communication, socializing, sharing ideas, thinking. It can also be learning, studying, sharing life philosophies. And the card that's coming up for you is the Two of Swords. Interesting, because the Two of Swords, or the swords, does represent our mental self. And when the Two of Swords comes up, it indicates that we're in a space right now of reconciling something within our awareness, within our mind, a decision that we want to make, a clarity that we want to have. And so with the new moon happening in your third house that is ruled by these things, this is like taking a compassionate approach to your own thinking processes. It's holding space for yourself. It's being in a very nurturing way, communicating with others in ways that are nurturing, compassionate, loving communication with yourself, especially where there's issues that you're trying to resolve or come to some type of decision with or conclusion about. Okay. And so we're going to go on to Gemini. If you're Gemini rising, then the new moon is happening in your second house of what you value, what you possess, how you make money. So these are the themes that are going to be coming up for you. And you have the Eight of Swords reversed. It's interesting because the Eight of Swords is almost like the higher expression of the Two of Swords. So this card is coming up reversed. When this card comes up, it typically indicates paralyzing uncertainty and indecision. However, in the reverse position, it brings in opportunity for reflection that brings clarity, which ultimately will have the result of you being able to have fresh energy circulating in the direction of where you have had indecision. Now there can be clarity of awareness and confidence and feeling ready to be more decisive around however that's showing up for you. But in the second house, it's going to be what you value, what you possess, how you make money. And the values are also connected to your true life values. You could be having some type of situation where you're realizing that your inherent values are shifting, or that you're just becoming more clear mentally about what your true values are. Being that the moon brings us initiation energies, this can likely be just awarenesses around where you are valuing your own values, where you're not valuing your own values, anything within that range. But the message is that you have the ability to come into clarity of awareness, which ultimately is going to bring more ease and peace of mind. Let's go on into Cancer. If you're Cancer rising, then the moon is happening in your first house of self-identity, drive, ambition. And the card that's coming up for you is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is the energy of creative self-expression. It's the energy of celebrating, socializing amongst friends, family. I'm definitely tuning into the enjoying the pleasures of the senses thing, because it's very passionate energy. So for those of you who are Cancer rising, don't be surprised if you're just really feeling compelled to be creatively expressive in social situations as experiences that drop you into that embodied pleasure within yourself. Okay, Leo. If you're Leo rising, then the new moon is happening in your 12th house of unconscious mind. Being what we talked about with Pluto and the initiation energy happening with Pluto, this likely is a time for Leo where things that have been driving you on deep unconscious levels can come into awareness right now. This is a time where you may be becoming aware of where you've been unconsciously sabotaging yourself, because the 12th house can be connected to that. Having clarity of awareness around those things so that you can shift out of anything that feels like that. And the Five of Wands reversed is coming up. The fives in the tarot always bring in some type of challenge, but it's a challenge that's meant to support you. And the Five of Wands typically is a creative challenge. It's rising above what we feel our creative potential is. And typically that happens through life giving us opportunities to cultivate skill sets that we have. So in the reverse position, it's rising above perhaps a tendency to feel defeated, which could be a part of how that self-sabotage energy has been showing up. You're not meant to throw in the towel. You're meant to give it your all and rise above self-imposed limitations that more than likely are just connected to maybe a lack of self-assuredness. Which, by the way, the little sparkly thing that's coming in the background, they're not orbs or spirits. I have a crystal hanging on my back patio and the sun is shining through and it's bringing prismatic things in, just FYI. Okay, we're coming into Virgo. Virgo rising, the new moon is happening in your 11th house. The 11th house is revolutionary energy. It's all about our friends, our social circles, our dreams, our wishes. And so you are having an opportunity to experience nurturing pleasure, sharing that energy amongst friends, sharing that energy in ways that are connected to revolutionary ideas or motivations that you have. And the Three of Cups reversed is showing up. It's interesting because, as I just said, the 11th house is your friends, your social circles, okay? The Three of Cups can represent that energy. It's unity within sharing of energy, collaborating. So when this card is coming reversed, it feels like this could be a time where you're being aware of how your circle of friends is changing. Now, this is something that happens as we are on our personal journeys of spiritual awakening, growth, awareness, healing, and empowerment. We grow, and either the people in our social circles grow with us, in alignment with us, or not. And it's normal to sometimes fall out of connection or alignment with some people and begin to be attracted to connections with other people. It's a normal part of life. It's nothing to feel shameful over or judgy or self-criticizing over. It's just allowing it to happen and trusting the process. So there's something along those lines that's coming up for you with this lunar cycle. If you're a Virgo rising, your spiritual rite of passage or initiation is connected to themes in how your social circles are changing and connecting with people that you feel inspired by, that you feel connected to, that you want to share experiences with and intersupport and even collaborate with. Okay, next we're coming into Libra. So for Libra rising people, the new moon is happening in your 10th house of your long-term goals, your standing in community, in society. It's also connected to career. So the new moon happening here is illuminating this sector of your life, and you have opportunities for a reset or a new beginning in ways that are connected to your long-term goals and what we could say as, right living, meaning living in alignment with your inner truth. So let's see what card comes up. Okay, it's the Ace of Cups. Perfect. Ace of Cups. Cups represents the water element. Cancer is a water sign. This is the energy of holding an intuitive space. It's giving and receiving. The aces always bring in an activation of energy. So for Libra rising people, you're having an activation of energy, which is probably going to show up as an intuitive awareness that you can act upon in regard to your long-term goals, your career goals, how you're just sharing your energy within your community, your society, and also being open to receive. So the receiving component, when it comes to things connected to our goals that might be manifestation oriented, there's really two phases of manifestation. We're putting the energy out there, and then we're receiving it back. I often use the analogy of a boomerang. The boomerang is I'm launching my intention energies out to the universe, and then the boomerang comes back in manifested form. So the Ace of Cups, especially for Libra rising people, is saying just be cognizant of the receiving component of whatever intentions you've been putting out there that are especially connected to long-term goals or career goals, and let that boomerang come back, which means receiving the return of the energy you've already put in motion. We don't have to keep putting energy out, keep putting energy out, keep it out. We set it, and then we just mind your own business, do other things as we're allowing the energy to come back. Okay? So Scorpio rising. The new moon is happening in your 9th house. The 9th house is connected to you coming into your widest expansion through seeking truth. On everyday levels, this can be connected to literal travel. You may be feeling compelled to literally be traveling, especially since it's summer. Summer is a time where many of us get some beach time in, go on vacation, do fun things. So for you, this is an opportunity to really come into your expansion and discover your deeper inner truths through those types of activities this month. And let's see what card wants to come up. It's the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups in the tarot is like a blessing card. Sometimes it's called the wish card. I like to call it a blessing card. It's the universe shining blessings in. So when the card comes up reversed, it's be open to blessings that the universe is shining in as you are seeking whatever adventures are supporting you and coming into your biggest expansion right now. And then Sagittarius, if you're Sag rising, the new moon is happening in your 8th house of transformation. The 8th house represents things connected to metaphoric. It can be literal as well, but it's metaphoric, birth, life, death, regeneration, it's sexuality, it's transformation. And so for Sagittarius people, Sag rising people, the new moon is going to be illuminating those types of themes for you. Where are you having a personal renewal in your life? And the card that's coming up is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is a new pathway opening up for you in the realm of embodying, inviting emotional well-being, creative inspiration. It can also be romantic energy as well. So this can be a time of renewal for you in regard to your relationship intentions and transformation along those lines. For Capricorn rising, then the new moon is happening in your 7th house, which is connected to your relationship themes, long-term relationships, partnerships, your relationship intentions. So these are the themes that are highlighted for you right now. And the Queen of Wands reversed is coming up. So when I'm seeing this for you, Capricorn, it feels like the invitation is for you to really connect with your relationship with yourself. The longest term relationship we have in life is the one we have with ourselves. And the Queen of Wands, when this card comes up upright, it's being fully in your radiance, fully in your empowerment, fully in your creative enthusiasm, passion, meaning, and purpose, because that's what the suit of Wands represents. So when this card is coming up reversed, the message I'm getting, it's about reclaiming that, you reclaiming you in your life. A friend that I have who also is an energy healing practitioner that I took classes with almost 20 years ago told me something. It wasn't just me. We were taking this class, and something he said in the class was really insightful that always stuck with me about relationships. And he said that a lot of times when you feel like something is missing in a relationship, it's you. It's you that's missing in the relationship. You're feeling disconnected with yourself within the relationship. So some of you might have that dynamic going on just because that's what's coming up. And if not, either way, it's you getting whole with yourself. Even if you're not in a relationship right now, you focusing on your self-love, your relationship with yourself, filling yourself up, being in your own radiance first is what's going to set this healthy space to invite a relationship in if you're wanting that. Okay, so we've got just a few more here. Well, let's go ahead and shift into Aquarius. So for Aquarius rising, the new moon is happening in your 6th house of work routines, health routines, how you are of service, and we can also say our sacred work. Your sacred work. So these are the themes that are coming up for you. Contemplate that. What is my soul sense of my sacred work? Meaning, what is my mission? What am I here to contribute to life? And the card that's coming up is the King of Cups. Interesting that we're getting so many cups, being that it's water and we're in a very watery time right now. King of Cups showing up reversed. The kings in the tarot are all about empowered self-leadership. So for Aquarius, examining where are you at right now in regard to your inner sense, because it's water, your inner sense of where you're at with your empowered self-leadership right now. It could also be a message about factoring in your intuitive intelligence as a gift that boosts your empowered self-leadership in the direction of your sacred work. Emotional intelligence, tuning into what feels good, what doesn't feel good, and factoring that in. Things that feel good are a yes. Things that don't feel good are a no. It's plain and simple, but not ignoring those things. Paying attention and navigating based on that will also have the effect of you claiming empowered self-leadership. Okay, lastly, Pisces. If you're Pisces rising, then the new moon is happening in your 5th house of pleasure. Pleasure, creative self-expression, romance, love affairs, and children. So these are the themes that are being highlighted for you right now. And the card that wants to come up feels like it's this one, the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is the energy of prosperity, abundance, and keeping the flow of that going through sharing. When this card comes up, it comes up for people who are in positions where they can benefit their communities through sharing. So this can be sharing of your creative talent, skills, and abilities because it's 5th house. Sharing in ways that are bringing pleasure to other people. This can be in the realm of anything having to do with creative arts, entertainment, socializing, interacting with children, whether they're your own children or children that are in your lives, inspiring children, inspiring people through sharing your creative talent, skills, abilities, resourcefulness is what the theme is for you. I do want to mention, before we wrap things up, that I have a shamanic healing and empowerment retreat coming up here in Sedona. The details are on my website at soulstarsedona.com. That's a new website that I have set up for my healing center. You're still able to reach me at my primary site, holisticspsychic.com, and all the information is there as well. And then I also want to remind you to check out the Mastering Intuition on Demand online course that I have up and running that you can sign up for and start anytime and progress through at your own pace. This is an amazing course for people who are ready to thrive with the guidance of your intuition. It's an amazing course for people who are wanting to gain the foundations for moving into any type of energy healing career, or anybody who is feeling guided in the realm of being some type of intuitive coach, guide, or professional psychic like me. So anyway, it's just information for you guys to check out. Wishing you all a blessed, fun, and safe holiday weekend coming up here for the Independence Day holiday. All my love, blessings, namaste, and I'm going to be seeing you right around the corner in the next video.